Check 1 2 1 2. Happy 4th of July to you. So we at the end of the trail. We're gonna walk up the trail. I want to make it a shorter video. I've been MIA. But what had happened was, what happened? I don't know. It was really hot. Like right now it's 7:30. So I got down here at 6:30. So after 8, it just be hot. Right now I'm cold. But anyway, 4th of July. And tomorrow is a Tuesday and we're going to do our live stream. I upgraded my live labs. I don't know. I upgraded something. So it should look better and it should be clear. That's going to be Tuesday at 6 o'clock. So let's see here. I guess it's always best to start now and work backwards. That's how my mind works. So yesterday I was, what was I watching? I don't really watch TV like that, but yesterday I was eating, so I was watching TV, and it was I'm sorry, I don't know the name of it, but it's a show that's like the Wonder Years or Doug Funny, like one of those time based in the 70s. It starts with like a VCR tape. Anyway, so it was Mother's Day, and all the kids were trying to get out of, make sure there's nothing on my face. All the kids were trying to get out of hanging out with their mother, but the one kid, he was forced because he's the youngest, and he really wanted to not do it. And then his mom's like, we're going to spend the whole day with me. And he's like, I don't want to. And she's like, you are. And he's like, I hate you. And she's like, oh, you hate me? And then the rest of the movie or TV show, his mom was ignoring him. And then finally they made up. I started tearing up because, you know, it's mom related. That's my new kryptonite. And it reminded me of one time my mom made me hot cocoa, like in high school or middle school. I guess it was high school, freshman year or something. So she made me hot cocoa, hot chocolate. We're in America. And when I tried it, it tasted different. I didn't say it tasted bad, it just tasted different. So I didn't finish it. And then I just left it there. I should have poured it down the sink, but I just left it there. So when I came home, she said, why didn't you finish the hot chocolate? I said, it tasted different. And then from that point on, she never made me hot chocolate. I think it was like 5 years later. So it just reminded me of that. In the show, they wrapped it up in like, what, it was 20 minutes, maybe 3 days in showtime. But yeah, that was 5 years. No hot chocolate from my mom. My dad, one time, I think I was like in middle school, and he made me breakfast, but I was a paper boy at the time. Paper boy. And I was late, as always. I'm not late anymore, but back then I was always late. Now, it would have been high school, because I missed the bus. So I guess freshman year again. So my dad made breakfast. I didn't have time to eat it because I had to do my paper route and then run to the school so I wouldn't get in more trouble. And then my dad's like, he's like, why don't you eat the breakfast? I said, I was late, he said. So he's never made me breakfast since then. That's a since. But yeah, that's my family. So maybe when I become famous, I can make my own TV sitcom about the Baileys. But yeah, so after the show was done, right, I turned off the TV because my dad was in the kitchen staring out the window. Sometimes he's in the backyard staring at the sky. And I turned off the TV and to go upstairs. So according to Apple, last week I spent 17 hours working on my music apps and 39 hours working on, or they call it entertainment, but I just watch tutorial videos on said music apps. So I'll say half the time is that, and the other half I'm watching the recap videos about movies and TV shows. So that's what I spend most of my time doing, right? So I go upstairs and then I hear my dad saying, yeah. So I'm like, what? He's like, why did you turn the TV off? And I'm like, now I'm saying that normal voice. I'm upstairs. I'm like, because I'm not watching TV and neither are you. So I come down the steps and he's just like, why did you turn the TV off? And I said, I didn't say anything. Because clearly I'm not in the living room and he was in the kitchen. And clearly in the house that I was raised in, you can't leave the lights on and the TV on when you're not in there. That's how I was raised. So then he was saying, he said, don't you know your mom is watching the TV? And now you might throw in the ohs and that's sad, and I get it, but there's a TV in my mom's room. So technically she would be watching the TV in her own room, not downstairs. I didn't say that. I'm just thinking that. Because if you want to be if you're using logic. But so I turned and he commanded me to turn it back on. As if you can't pick up the remote, turn it back on. So I turned it back on, and then he's just kind of muttering, she watches TV, and I just go upstairs and put my headphones on. And like, yeah, that is life in the house. It is not cool. Not cool at all. But, yeah. And then, that was the night. But prior to that, my dad asked me if I was busy. Like, it was like 12 o'clock. He's like, are you busy? Or maybe 4, I don't know. But he's just like, are you busy? And the answer is no. I'm here to help where I can. There's nothing that I would be doing where I'm gonna be like, nah, Dad, I gotta finish up this tutorial video. But often he doesn't ask me. So anyway, so he asked me if I'm busy. I said, nope. He's like, can you take me downtown? I'm like, where downtown? Just so I could know. Because I don't like being in the car and so I'm like, all right, turn left here and just give me the direction. Give me the place so I could mentally map out or Google the location. So we go downtown, we go into the store, and he pulls out a $20 bill and he hands it to me. Which, I guess I'm Uber. I don't know. Now, that $20, I need it. Otherwise, nah, I'm good. But I actually do need that $20 because I have zero. But it's just weird. Why give? And it's one of those things. If I was like, nope, then no more $20. Because you saw what happened with the eggs. Oh man. But yeah. So this morning, so I don't think my dad's gonna be on the stream tomorrow because, yeah, if you remembered me saying that, I don't think that's gonna happen. We'll see. But this morning before I went on my walk, I was just checking on my dad in the morning, and he was just saying he's watching the news and saying how there's nothing good going on in the world, and he mentions that. So when I went downtown, I never go downtown. I have nothing down there. But since I've been there and since he's lived there, We're talking years, 20, 30, 40 years, right? The streets have always been one-way streets, and now they turned them to two-way streets, which is weird, confusing. But you know, I mean, if you're going by memory, you might go in the wrong one, but there's signs and all that. So today he was saying in the bed, he's saying, yeah, they changed the streets downtown. It's so confusing. What is the world coming to? I don't think that's a world thing. That's a city thing. Like, but you know, he's just saying change. I mean, he even said this: if his parents, grandpop and grandma, if they came out of their grave and they saw the streets have changed, they would go back to their grave. That don't make sense to me. But I guess. Hello. So but yeah, so and then I'm on my walk. But yeah, man, it's just like I don't know, like me. I just don't see the point of worrying about that stuff. We can't change the city street. We got to go with the flow on some Bruce Lee. Be the water that conforms to the shape of the glass. Because otherwise, but so I don't know what I'm supposed to say in these things. I'm not gonna spend time talking about things we can't change. It's a one-day thing. Anyway, moving on like this. So the other day, my friend took me down to Philly, and well, he had business down there, and I brought my camera and stuff, and then we went over to the museum, the Rocky, I guess it has a name, but the Rocky Steps place. And yeah, the idea was we're gonna make a freestyle video. I think I need water. Luckily I got some in my pocket. But one-handed. Wow, look at me, come on. This was brought to you by Acadia Spring Water. So we go there, and because you saw I started freestyling, kind of like what I was doing back in Japan, feeling myself. So we go up there, and the idea was I'm gonna sample the Rocky theme and then rock over the Rocky theme. I was a little nervous because if I use the Rocky theme, they're gonna ban me from YouTube, block me from TikTok, and maybe cut the audio on Instagram. It's that era. But what the heck, let's do it. So we start walking towards the place. It's like a 10-minute walk from where we parked. We go up the steps. I start making the thing. Now I had a naked iPad, meaning no case. So I'm gripping it, hoping I don't drop or trip. I sit down, it's really hot. And and then yeah, we start getting into it. I'm trying to wrap it up because the video's getting all long and I want to do other stuff. Then my friend's like, yeah, the screen isn't responding, because normally it turns off by itself and then you just tap it to see it, but it wouldn't come on. And then when I stand up, the plug from my microphone comes out. Good morning. The thing comes out. So I just plug it back in, When I look at it, it looks like it's working. And then I do my little freestyle, but I'm like, it feels different because now I'm like out and about in the wild. Like out here, there ain't nobody out here except walkers and green poop and me coughing. But then so we do the freestyle, and then we check the playback. Tell me why the video says error, corrupted. Tell me why I'm coughing like this. I'm dying. Maybe I swallowed some bugs. Maybe this is it. Thank you guys for watching. But yeah, error. And then when that mic came out, it stopped recording. So it was a bust in a sense. Nothing worked, but it was great because I was able to notice 3 things. One, when it's hot, it seems like the 360 gets all weird. Sometimes the iPhone does that. When it's hot, it says, "Oh, too hot, can't work." Like, really? You're like the most advanced phone, and I don't remember an iPhone 3G overheating, or a 4, or a 4S, or a 5, or a 5S. I'm glad they stopped doing the S's. But now the most advanced high tech has 3 lenses and all that shit overheats. But yeah. And then when we were down there, or that day, we encountered this thing. So a phenomena, the BS phenomena. So we're at the Rocky thing, and there's this guy, and my friend's like, "Yo, you play for the sport? You play sports or whatever?" Something to that. And the guy's like, "Yeah, I play over at Drexel. I just got drafted or something." Now I don't really hear the conversation because I'm like thinking about freestyle or something. And I look over, and there's a guy, and he's just like, he had a real cool voice, like a Nas voice or a DMX voice. Like he just had he had a really good voice, good rapping voice. So if he's like, "Yeah, I'm a rapper," but he's like, "Nah, I play ball and all that shit." My friend, he knows about this shit, so he's like, "Really?" And the guy's like, "Yeah," and he starts going on, and he's like, "Nah, I'm joking." And then he goes, "But I got the coach's number, man, and he's gonna draft me." And he's just going on, and he's like, "Yeah, he called me right now, man. He's just bullshitting." It's like, for what? He could have been like, "Nah, I don't play sports. I want to." Finished. So then we're walking back and just having a laugh at that. And then we come back home and we stop at a Wawa, and this lady, just random people, the lady's like, "My daughter just got accepted into a school." And then another lady's like, "Yeah, I went to," she named like a community college type school. "I went to community college. It was the hardest school for this program, but I failed out of it." And then again, we're walking to the car, and it's like, that is a community college. Why would it be that? Now I'm always trying to give the benefit of the doubt. Maybe it was the hardest school for her, and that's why she failed out. But she didn't say it that way. And maybe the guy, he may have the coaches calling him, maybe. But it's just that kind of, why? I wouldn't tell anybody I'm a famous YouTuber, because I'm not. People know me. I got videos. I may be famous to the people who watch me, but I'm not famous as in give that man a TV show. Good morning. Please say good morning to me. But but I don't know. I think the world would be slightly better if people didn't like make shit up. But anyway, so while we were in Philadelphia, I got a phone call from a friend who I used to go to high school with, and who I used to visit when I would come home for Christmas, and we'd go to the bookstore and we'd hang out there. And yeah, and then she moved away, so now I have to go to the bookstore by myself, which I haven't, because it's, now that I live here, it doesn't hold such a, because then, anyway, so she calls me, which she never calls me, and then she leaves a message, call me back as soon as possible. So I never know how those go. People call me back as soon as possible, because, yeah. So I call her, and she's like, hey, you still do photography? I'm like, yeah, I haven't, since I've been home. I haven't. I think I picked up my camera once to do, to take some product pictures of the Kit Kats I was trying to sell. The Kit Kats I was trying to sell, I only sold 2. Yeah. And it would have been okay, because I sold them, and I was using this free site and a trial site, so I didn't have to pay for the thing, but I forgot to cancel, so I ended up paying the $30 for that site, which ate all my profit, which means I was at -1. Yeah. But so I haven't touched the camera. So she's like, yeah, do you do photography? I'm like, again, so I don't BS. Yes, if I said yes, it means I'm actively out there shooting, like bringing my camera and shooting birds. But I don't know, I was gonna sell it, but it was a gift, and it is a pretty good camera, it works. Anyway, she's like, so a friend of mine is looking for someone to shoot her birthday pics, and she asked me, oh, and then she's like, oh, and she wants nude photos. And I'm just in shock. I'm like, wow, because that doesn't happen. I could ramble all day about the things I need or want, and nobody will make it happen. I mean, it's not their job, but it's like, wow, this video, well, it's not that long, because this trek is like 22 minutes. And we're almost at the end, so I gotta wrap up this story. So she's like just telling me that her friend was looking for someone to shoot her birthday pictures, and she said she would do it, but she doesn't live here anymore. So she thought of me, because when I started doing my shoots, I would tell her about it. And she said that she told her friend, and she sent some of her favorite photos, and she like bigged me up. She gave the friend the contact information, and she asked me if I would do it. And I'm like in shock, like because since I've been home, I've been hearing a lot of don't worry, man, I got you. And now, what always kicks in is nobody's responsible for my happiness, my career, my well-being. Now that sounds sad, I know, but if it was reversed, I'd be sitting around crying in my room, and that's not the rhyming way. So when it does happen, I'm just shocked and like speechless. And I told her, you know, I don't know what to say. I'm speechless. So we're talking for a little bit, and then my friend comes, and then I tell her to call her back. And then later that day, I got an email from her friend saying, so this is me, can you do it? And I'm like, yeah, I can. So I make her a little portfolio of different types of, so I've done nude birthday shoots before. It's a thing, I guess. Out there in the world, there's a whole bunch of people looking for photographers to do their nude birthday shoots, but I don't know where to find them. So I sent her some photos from the birthday shoots I took, and then just, you know, Google Cardi B got one. I mean, a bunch of people does it. Anyway, so she's like, all right, cool. She asked me how much I want. I say, how about this? She says, cool. And that's that. So So that's exciting. You know, exciting, but there's no one to like celebrate that with. Maybe with these crows. Hey crows, I got a shoot coming up. They just flew away. Life's tough, man. But it's just like, it's just a weird existence. Because I wanted to like, I might have told my mom, because she would have been like, oh, that's nice. But I don't think I'm going to tell my dad. And there's other people I'd tell, and they'd be like, on some sarcastic, oh my God. It's just on some BS. Anyway. But, yes. Battery's dying. But, yeah, that's about it. So tomorrow's stream, contest winners. I didn't make the album that I was working on, but it was gonna be a thing for a thing anyway. But I will announce those tomorrow or something, or tonight. Tomorrow. All right, take care. Peace. Ryman.